I thought it was going to make more music than that. Alright, we can get this to play in the background though. Oh, except it's not on that one, it's on this one. There we go. The music doesn't sound as good on the because you know what's it called? That's what we're hearing from the DOS version. I need to hear what this sounds like. The intro music, just because if it's bad, I was like, oh, we'll play the Windows 3.1 version, but we might see if we can get the 32 version working on the DOS version instead. Oh, it sounds so fucking piss weak. I mean, I kind of wanted to play it to see what the difference was. Hello, Dee Dee. So I think we'll still do that. No. I don't want it to actually play the game though. I wanted to give people some time to get in. It's just the MTT words. MT30.
Right?
And I suppose the question is,
And I believe you have the advantage.
do we listen to these people
Rhubarb, ma'am.
or do
So
we
you can
listen to
call
me?
Rube. So I suppose you've already met Sam.
Yes, it's very colourful.
He's very
Colourful.
Don't let him shake you. He's tough on the outside, but inside, he's got a heart of steel.
Diddy always votes to
I'm
listen to me.
sorry. Pardon?
Wait, what?
What did you say?
What did you say?
Never mind. Just pulling your leg. Why don't you take this desk right here, and we'll get you settled in.
That's very kind of you.
Mr.
Augustine
Steamy.
sort of left me on my own.
He's a
I
dick
had
like
to
that.
start on this story about a burglary at the Lion Decker
The
Museum.
Lion Decker. Lion Decker. Ooh. It did not like me clicking it. Perfect. No notes. Perfect. No notes. I just figured I'd hello, Chris. I just figured I'd see if I could fit because like I've got a bit of a weird shadow behind me. At least you can see the majority of my hair because my hair's the green's faded enough. But hello, Sentinel. I was just gonna see if I could pump because I feel like no, that's the chroma key. Ooh. See, I want it to take more of the green, but I don't want it to take more of me. Smoothness? Wait a bit. That's a bit better. There's more pigment to my hair. Boost some of my power. Oop, wrong way. Let's see, color correction. Oop, too much. It's like a real life hair shader. Yeah. What's happening here? Is it the contrast? It's making me a bit too radioactive. Maybe it's the too much power. Oh, I look like a weird 70s ad. Bit more in the right direction. Think we got it. I think that looks good in the preview. Oh, I'm a bit more see-through though. All of my hair. Actually, it's kind of a fun effect, isn't it? Here I was being like, oh, you know, this is a good thing. Better than like what's it called? It was the last stream where I was wearing that green jumper, so I just basically was a floating head. But I mean, what's it called? You still have to have green hair or bluish hair because it's got to pick up on something. So if I go back to the chroma key, then maybe I've still got a tiny bit, but you know, I think that's pretty good. I've got a bit of a shadow, but most of my hair's here. Cool. All right, Laura. So, let's see, what settings do I have in here? That's right, it's either text or it's speech. So if I... What's with these cursors as well? It seems like the Windows 3.1 version is like vastly inferior in terms of graphics. Because like, what's it called? The CD-DOS version has a beautiful gold cursor. You know what I mean? Also, it's moving slow as shit. Let's get this girl speeded up. Detail up. Yeah! See what it looks like when this girl dies. Why? Yeah! Oh, so much leg. I think we're gonna move to the CD-DOS version, just because it don't sound as good. Because like that video, like that's not actually the game. I have to download it. So how is everyone? Howdy, Pixie Cow. Let me show you what my latest cross stitch. It's not as crazy as the one that I sent Fu. It's a Moi made, but as you can see, I'm not fully. I haven't done the top half yet. I've done most of the tail so far though, which you can't really see because there's a lot of green in that tail. Woo! But it was on sale for $10, and I was like, yeah, sure. I do still have the other one that I bought at the same time that I bought Fu's, so maybe once I finish this one, which comparatively is more simple, I will move on to there. Because that one was another big one that's like filled with colour. Okay, 40 seconds it reckons. While we're waiting for that, I think I'll we'll watch the intro with the audio. The way it was meant to be played. I don't know what it is about this lately, but I have to like... It used to be that it would just remain blank until DOSBox was back again. And now it's just like, I'm just going to put up a black screen until you replace me with something. So we'll watch the intro in this version. So I think, I'm not sure if it's going to save the fact that I switched it to text mode. We'll see, but it might be the game voices. It's just weird it's got such pathetic... Like the soundtrack doesn't have as much of a boost as the DOS version, which we'll play the MT32 version, because I'm pretty sure it's got an MT32 version. Because, yeah. And it's one of those things, like, I could do voices for the whole thing, or we could just let the game do the voices, in the sense that we might be able to stream the entire game if I don't do the voices. I know the game, the music for the game's very quiet, as in, like, that's what it's actually spouting out. Let me, bump it with a wavelength. It's just very tinny sounding. I'm surprised this, you know, considering that I think the Windows 3.1 version would have been the last version that they put out. Why would you put out the one that has the worst sound on it? Do you have National Treasure?
Time to correct this most grievous misunderstanding, Mr. Carter.
Mr. Carter.
The Dagger of Amon must be returned to Egypt.
Yes.
Stay out of my way, or I'll thrash you within an inch of your life.
Surely you can find a way to accommodate everybody's wishes.
Who are you to tell me what I can do with my own property?
Your property? What authority did you have?
It's a banger of a soundtrack, even with the terrible chipset.
authority of the Egyptian Antiquities Service. So if you don't like it, I suggest you waddle on back
How can you die to
Egypt
such
and
banging
complain
tunes?
to your own government.
Would it not be better to work this out diplomatically?
This isn't a case for diplomacy. It's a case for your acceptance of the situation.
Get used to it,
It is
bitch.
not just my acceptance at issue, Mr. Carter. Frankly, some of our people are quite upset. Move to take drastic measures if need be.
Like your
Are
accountant.
you
I
threatening
mean-
me, you malodorous little man?
Oh, I love malodorous little
Mr.
man.
Carter, there are
Mr.
some
Carter,
who would
Mr.
rather
Carter.
fight back than allow their country to be stripped of its national treasures.
Do you
Any
have national
fat
treasure?
savage who lays a finger on my exhibit or threatens me will find himself in deep trouble. Do I make myself clear?
As clear as the water of the oasis, Mr. Carter.
Can anyone else hear that? It's just like one note that's just stuck on. Windows 3.1 clearly screaming out for help.
Be careful with that steamer trunk, young man.
Like you can still hear it now.
Exceedingly valuable.
Jesus.
Sure is heavy, Mr. Carrington.
Oh, Josh
you got
Mandel.
gold bars in here or something?
Yes.
The contents of my trunk are not your concern. Now be a good lad and take it to my taxi. The Countess is waiting.
I want to bang her in the back. Except she'll say no for some reason.
New Orleans.
One week later.
Are you sure you've got everything?
Yes, Daddy.
Yes, Daddy.
Oh, the one note's
You've
gone.
got Sam's address at the paper?
Yes, Daddy.
Yes, Daddy.
You've got the money I gave you?
Yes,
Yes,
Daddy.
Don't
Worry, I'll be dead.
Put some money in your shoe.
We need to
New York's
rewatch
a
the Egg a
big
Third
city,
video.
And there's a lot of crime there.
And they got big titties.
I'm going straight to the paper. What could possibly go wrong?
Let me give you a little more money, just in case.
Dad, I've
Got to go. I'm proud of me.
Godspeed, Laura. Call me as soon as you get there.
I'll be fine, Dad. I'm going to make you proud of me.
I already am, honey.
Aww. Yeah, big old titties. Laura, give me more money, honey. I need more speed. Dad, I got to go. And then she left her bags behind. Like, no one, like, we talk about, like, how she gets mugged once she gets to New York, but she leaves her bags behind there. The bags. They're gone.
Excuse me, dear, are you a secretary?
Actually, I'm starting a new job as a reporter.
And
for the
I'm
New
drawing
York
you.
Daily Register News Tribune. My name's Laura Bow.
She looks so sus right
Oh,
now, just
nice.
like,
I'm
Mm.
Ermengarde. Is this your first trip to the big city?
yes, how can
Am
you
I
tell?
that obvious?
You're writing down
How can
every
you
seed
tell?
tree that you see.
By the way you keep glancing out the window, dear. I did the same thing the first
What is she
time
doing with
I
her hand?
was
It's
in
like-
New York.
It's like she's drawing pentagrams?
The people rushing around. It was all
I think that's what she's doing. She's just drawing a pentagram over and over again.
Stepped off the train and got mugged.
Wow.
How awful.
That won't happen to
It's the
me.
New York experience.
Here I go. Let me help you down, baby.
Thank you, dear. You're very kind. I've enjoyed traveling with you.
Do you need any help getting home?
It's a strange.
No,
Like,
dear,
I'm trying to
I'll
work
be
out this
fine,
woman's
thank you.
dress. Because, like, it's really
You're
puffy at the
sure
top.
you'll be okay?
Well, at the hips, and then it puffs
Yes,
around the
thank
knees,
you.
and then it comes
Goodbye.
in. Like, I can't place it with. Oh, and then Laura's lost her
Goodness
last bag.
gracious. My suitcase.
My suitcase!
Can you spare a dime, miss?
No! I just lost my bags.
Certainly, sir. I'm always ready to help those who are less fortunate.
Well, that's just peachy. Give me all your money then.
It's the way he says, that's
Excuse
just
me?
peachy.
Hand
Why
it
don't you
over.
come home with me, baby?
This seems very unfair.
It is.
Welcome to New York, kid.
Doo-doo-doo.
I'm not gonna let a little bad luck ruin my day. Hello, New York. Laura Bow has arrived.
I can't say that I've ever proclaimed to a city that I've arrived. Maybe I should on my next journey. Hello, Dubai. I have arrived for a layover.
My destiny awaits. Nothing can stop me now.
Except... Except the IR... Go inside, Laura! I know that you're waiting for the music, but good God! You could have gone inside and the door could have closed
I really
later.
wanna thank you for hiring me, Mr. Augustine.
Steenie.
For hiring you? I don't even know who you are.
She's so small in comparison to him. Like,
I believe
perspective,
in my
she
father,
should be
John
bigger
Bow.
than him.
Ah,
It's like reverse.
John Bow's daughter. Now I remember. How is he?
He's
He's
dead.
fine, and he says hello. He wanted to know if you still had that newspaper clipping on your wall about the explosion of
The
the
one
Hindenburg
behind your
building
head?
in New Orleans.
Yes. Your father was the first cop on the scene of the explosion, and he let me into the wreckage so I could cover it for the paper. I rescued Rupert Hindenburg from his burning office, wrote about it, and made a name for
What?
myself.
I mean, it does say employee
I
of
owe
the
John a
month.
lot for that.
He likes
Think
dead
you could
people.
handle being a
But he's also got a
reporter
skull
for
on the
a city
desk.
paper?
I'll do my best, sir.
We usually just hire men for this job.
We don't even have a female bathroom.
Kinda small.
I can do it,
Just
Mr. Augustini. Just give me a chance.
All right, as a favor to my old pal John, I'll be keeping a close eye on you.
I'm gonna fire you
Thank
tomorrow.
sir.
After I give you a job you can't hack.
I want you to write about a burglary. Some kind of fancy knife was stolen.
Like, that is a really high profile job for your first job.
Arrange for you to attend the fundraiser at 7 o'clock
Like, I get it
for their new
for it being a
church
game,
exhibit.
but wow.
Everyone will be there. Tell them you're covering the society news so they won't clam up on you.
You won't regret it, sir. I have a
Nose for news. So,
Just keep your nose out of trouble. Here's your official notebook and your pencil. It already has Crodfaller's notes in it. Have the story ready by 3
oh,
tomorrow.
just suddenly got that itch of like, I need to sneeze. It's gonna happen. Ugh. Pardon me. There's only two. There's probably another one in me somewhere.
Laura Baines, right?
Laura Bow,
Laura
sir.
Bow, sir.
And I believe
And
you
I
had me
believe
at the
you had the
advantage.
advantage.
Please don't take
Crodfaller
advantage of me.
rhubarb, ma'am, so you can call me Rube. So I suppose you've already met Sam.
Yeah. So, we're hitting quit here, just because we're going to go over to the DOS CD version. Because that should be finished by now. It's just inflating. Yes, aspect ratio, yes. Windowed on. Don't need to change my graphics filter. That's the Windows 3.1 version. That's the MS-DOS version. MS-DOS version. Okay. Okay, here we go. Sound Blaster MT32 or Sound Canvas. I'm not actually certain if the Sound Canvas is better or worse than, I'll use this to flip over actually while we're here. Whoop. Let's listen to what the Sound Canvas sounds like in terms of the intro. As in, not the full intro, I just mean like loading in. But I think we're going to come back and do the 32. Ooh. Sounds pretty good. Ding dong. Let's listen to that coming in. That's pretty good. Like, it's got a rich tone to it, unlike that Windows 3.1 version we heard where it was kind of really tinny. We are going to hit quit. Because again, I'm going to come in and say, hey, give me that 32 version. Again, I need to flip this over. I really wish it would just... So this is the 32. Hello? Ah, here we go. I think we're going to go sound canvas. Like, this is definitely better than the Windows 3.1 version. But the sound canvas sounded like it was almost like real instrument sort of thing. Oh, that's weird. Well, no, because you see, like, this is the great thing about the Exodus project. They actually set up so you get the authentic sound. So you can get the Windows, like, well, not the Windows, you can get the Sound Blaster version or the MT32, which had a superior MIDI chipboard compared to Sound Blaster. And then Sound Canvas sounded pretty bloody good. This has a weird dum-dum tone that I'm meh. So we're going to go back and do sound canvas. I promise this is the last time we switch over. We know what we want now. We know! Or at least I know. I know what I want to assault your ears with. Sound canvas. Like, I'm the sort of person that I would say I don't hear the difference between a lot of, like, low fidelity and high fidelity. But I hear the difference between these three majorly. To be fair, we didn't listen to what the Sound Blaster version was, but, you know, I remember what the Sound Blaster sounded like, and it's probably more like the Windows 3.1 version. So, we've already seen the intro, so we're going to do that again. We're going to straight to play game. Oh, yeah. I think this is the version that I downloaded from Quest Studios that I listened to on my phone. I know them beats. Game? Hello? Here we go.
Laura Baines, right?
Me.
Laura Bowes, sir.
A phone
and
ringing.
I believe you have the advantage.
Crodfaller Rhubarb, ma'am, though you can call me Rube. So I suppose you've already met Sam.
Yes, we did.
Yes, he's very colorful.
Don't let him shake you. He's tough on the outside, but inside he's got a heart of stone.
Yes,
I'm sure he... Pardon me? What did you say?
What did you say?
Never mind. Just pulling your leg. Why don't you take this desk right here and we'll get you settled in?
That's very kind of you. Mr. Augustini sort of left me on my own. I have to start on this story about a burglary at the Lion Decker Museum.
Lion Decker. Sorry, it's just the way she says Lion Decker. All right, now let's see. One thing, we want to make it more speedy. I'm not going to make it super speedy. I am going to hit the detail up. Is there a both? It is one or the other. So, can I do a poll in this chat that's over here? I can. We'll let the continue with the game as is, but I've just put up a poll. That's just basically, do you want to hear the game or do you want to hear me? I'm not going to force myself. I'm not going to force myself on you, but my Southern Belle's pretty bloody good. Ooh, it's weird to say bloody when you're because I'm used to saying bloody, you know, the Aussie way. All right, let's get to this desk and have a little Oh, I'm on text mode now, I think. Oops. Yeah. We'll leave it on speech until the poll finishes. Yeah.
You peel up a corner of the blotter to reveal a small key.
It is a little bit...
You pick it up and place it in your purse.
Yeah, the thing that my brain always wants to say, you pick it up and put it in your pocket. Because pocket is more evocative than purse. Purse is a bit
You
soft.
unlock the drawer. Unfortunately, the key permanently jams itself in the lock. Let's hope you never want to lock this drawer again.
No. We'll destroy it before we need
You
it.
pick it up and place it in your purse.
Because girls love pockets. So while that poll's happening, let's talk about like just the general interface of this. Because I love this game. No doubt about it. We've got, your general walk. You can look. You can touch. Which also touches not just, you pick it up. It's also kind of feeling, especially when you get to the murder scenes. You've got just general talk, like, like people just, like, here's the off the cuff. And then you've got the questioning book. And I love the questioning book. Let's look at the questioning book with Rube. It is a full UI that's broken down with people, places, things, miscellaneous. Obviously, these are run by flags. You could do this very easily with Adventure Creator. I just haven't seen anyone who has. Maybe I should do it. But, polls ended. What do we got? Let me see. Nobody voted! Oh, great. Mm-hmm. There's people here. No one decided no one could make it up. Oh, you couldn't see the poll. You voted for me. Okay, so Sentinel said me. Well, I think we will flip over to me just because I can do anything I want. But, Rube, tell us about yourself.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Rhubarb.
Just because then we'll get subtitles.
What's to tell? I'm a reporter for this paper, probably since before you were born.
Maybe.
But I want to know about the real Crodfaller tea, Rhubarb.
You mean there's another Crodfaller tea, Rhubarb? No two sets of parents could be that cruel.
Well.
That's okay, Mr. Crodfaller. You don't have to tell me about yourself if you don't want to.
Rube.
Who are you calling a... Oh, Rube's your nickname, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I forgot.
That you did. Alright, so we will flip over to us unless anyone goes like, oh my god, what are you doing? But this way we get subtitles. We love a good subtitle. The other thing I really like about this is that we get side portraits. Whereas, like, we wouldn't get side portraits if it was any other game. Miss Bow, please, it's not a problem. Yes, I started work on that story, but it's not your fault it's been reassigned. That's something I'll have to take up with Sam. Thank you, Mr. Croft. I mean, Rube. But I really liked, like, just the whole, idea of it. I think this is actually the only time that it comes up that when you're sitting down, there's a side portrait. Oh, actually, maybe the Speakeasy. I don't think Laura's got a side portrait for that, but, what's that called? Ziggy does. We'll confirm it, but, I think this is the only instance where we've got the two side portraits. It's important to ask him a couple of questions. Is there anyone that I actually want to ask him about specifically from those? No. I do want to ask him about the flower shop. Now, what's the scoop on the flower shop? You mean the Speakeasy? The flower shop's just a cover. Look for a fellow there by the name of Ziggy. He knows a lot and tends to talk too much. Sweet, we got a stool pigeon. Anything else I need to ask him about? We'll get his take on the burglary. Were you able to get any leads at all about the burglary at the museum? Nope, hadn't been working very long. I went to see Detective O'Reilly down from the police station, but he was pretty tight-lipped, for some reason. I was planning on speaking to Ziggy down at the Speakeasy. He's a stoolie, usually good for a tidbit or two. Any other leads I can follow up on? Oh yeah, I love these backgrounds. With all due respect, ma'am, it's gonna be your byline on the story, not mine. Point taken, Mr. Crawford. Oh, I've changed my accent, Rope. Oh god, I could give her my my passionate Patty voice. Oh, I don't know. Larry. But no, like this whole like it's a specific. It's not Art Deco. I mean, it's got a bit of Art Deco about it, but it's kind of like there's another one. It's like avant-garde deco, where it's just kind of like it's the extreme. There's a book called Snow White in New York that's almost this exact same thing. It doesn't quite have the black ceilings, but at the same time, I really just like it puts into focus what you're looking at. Some people think it can make it. Some people think that it kind of makes it look empty or not fully finished or defined, but I don't know, I liked it fine enough. You find a curiously heavy object in the trash. You pick it up and place it in your purse. Here's my phone. I figured I'd just... The thing I always remember about Snow White in New York is it's what's it called? I mean, I think you can get it in a smaller style, but the book itself, like the one I remember from a child, would have like started here and then gone all the way up here. It was like a massive book. It was like A1 size. No. I wanted pictures from inside. I mean, this is what the Wicked Queen looks like in that. It's beautiful. I'm trying to find a shot where it's actually kind of the style that I'm talking about. It's a shame I don't have the actual book on me, but I remember it was definitely... here's another one of the Wicked Queen, where it's just like that extra silhouette out back. And it's definitely 1920s flappers style. Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, like, look at that. Fuck yeah. I love that, like, I probably haven't had my hands on that book since I was, like, 6 or 7, but I remember it. Bye, Rube. I'm out of here. I don't need anything else here. We want to do the plot, Okay, so it's important when you want to cross the road, or, go to the roads at all, you need to look both ways. No cars coming in that direction. Okay, hang on. Oh, this way. No cars coming in that direction. Laura looks towards the wall for some reason. But now we can cross across the road. Ooh, interesting. That, like, it had, like, almost like a police siren. Which is interesting because this is across the road from the police station. Oh, how's that snoring noise? Gotta speak to the vagabond. Excuse me, sir. No problem, let him sleep. This has like got extra sound effects and it's kind of working. Snow White in New York does sound like an 80s drug culture play. Like, what's it called? I remember getting the soundtrack for a musical called Fairy Tales because I thought it was going to be like kind of like Into the Wood, like another Into the Woods type of thing, but no, it was about I think it was set in it was either the 70s or the 80s. But it is about a young man, what's it called, in the gay culture in New York, from memory. And it was not what I thought it was. Pardon me, I'm looking for some information. Well, take yourself down to our library then. Pardon me, Sergeant, but I happen to be a reporter with the Trib. Oh, well, strike up the band then. Look, lassie, I've been on my dogs all day. I haven't had my lunch. I ain't had my lunch. I will eat you for lunch, and I've got better things to do than to jaw with some slip of a girl reporter. Go on with you. I want to keep talking to you, but I really need some information. Oh, his stomach is growling. Okay. We want we want information. The paper is full of old news and a valuable coupon. You bought your scissors, right? A coupon for a free sandwich from Luigi. Take it, Laura, take it. You pick it up and put it in your purse, and somehow have gotten rid of the rest of the magazine. There's no cars from that direction, or that one. You may walk into the road, and walk into a stereotype. Oh, there's a foul note in that. It's like a car farting in there. I'm not doing the stereotype voice for the Italian man. Let's let the game do it for us.
Hot corned beef, get you hot corned beef sandwich.
Is that corned beef lean?
Lean corned beef. This is the leanest corned beef in the city, maybe in the country. So lean the cows she keep on tipping over. You wanna buy a corned beef sandwich, lady?
Yes, I do. Take my coupon and my love. Oh, sorry, wrong one.
The coupon.
Yes, I know it's a coupon. I can read it. It says free Luigi.
I believe I would like a sandwich.
Free Luigi!
Mamma mia, another coupon. I'm gonna go broke. What a crummy idea I had. That's the last time I advertised in a newspaper.
Is Mario missing?
Take your sandwich and get out of here before I change my mind.
Uh-huh. Cool, thanks.
You pick it up and place it in your purse.
You pick it up and place it in your pussy.
A woody perennial
Hashtag free
plant with
Luigi.
one main stem or trunk which develops...
Yeah, it's a tree.
There are no cars coming from this direction. There are no cars coming from this direction.
What's it called? I just saw it earlier today, which is why I thought of playing Laura Bow anyway. I think I'm trying to remember his name. No, that's the guy that released it. One of the guys that are involved in the speed running community. He, been trying to work out like the SCI interpreter, and he's actually worked out a thing that kind of annotates it all. So like, like everything links up, and like it doesn't just say like it's calling this line of dialogue. It actually tells you what that line of dialogue is, tells you what it's relating to. It's pretty damn cool. And I was kind of like, whew, I could break in here for the secrets, which I might still do. But I was just like, we got some time before Dave. Oh, I should share this to the audio channel. When I say the audio channel, I mean that Dave can drop in whenever he's ready. Yes, I'm going to also look at Colonel's Bequest because I'm just intrigued about how it works. I mean, we've already kind of worked out... Well, I say we. It's been worked out why... like the super sleuth is so difficult to obtain, because like my thing with this is just like I've always been intrigued about how it decides the randomization of like people walking around, like if it's a moving variable that just says this is the room that's in, and like as they're walking their cycle, it's like which room has they been in. Maybe it's even got a step counter. I don't know. I'm just trying to think how like I would determine from room to room, because if it's just in one room, I can understand and be like, like you saw them in this room, you saw them leave this room, they're going to go in the other room. But like, say for example, you're not in that room, you're in a totally different room, but they've started say like in the dinosaur room, and they're slowly walking all their way to the museum offices. Then how does it determine how long it's going to take them to walk that path? And if you just, like break in from one spot to another, how is it going to work that out? Anyway, we'll talk about that more when we actually get to that section. This is all just like, the beginning of the game is all very flag based. It's kind of like, have you done this? Have you asked this? If you ask it, it's going to open up a new topic, which basically means if you've got this topic, then you know what's going on. because I know like the speedrunners that are like looking at it are all about like, you know, like how can we make this shorter? To me, I'm like, well, how does this game, like, how did they work this out? Like, you know, like what is for someone like me that's intrigued by just like how those things are dealt with, because like it must be similar to the one that's in Colonel's Bequest, because people are walking around in that game as well that also they follow a path, and I know that it having like a step counter would make sense to me, because like say I was about to call him Lurch, fuck sakes, what's Jeeves, that's the one. Jeeves's path, you know, like if you don't see him, he always reaches the end of his, you know, path in a certain act at the same time. So let's give this man a sandwich. I don't know, Chris, if you've seen any of the grammar holes recently where we've been playing a game called Virtual Murder. I have absolutely fallen in love with those games, and like it's a simple enough technique, so I'm kind of like, it'd be a quick and easy game to make. Except of course I'm trying to stop myself from being like, ooh, I can add this and I can add that. A couple of things from my notes that I've definitely decided that I'm doing. It's an extremely 90s FMV game. I recommend checking out the VODs. But it's a pretty simple concept of like, well, most of them are, there's 4 of these games, and each one, well, the first one only has one scenario path where it's like, this is the, they're all games like called like Who Killed Sam Rupert, which only had one path. But as they progressed along, like the one that we're playing at the moment, we've finished path 1, but there's still path 2 and 3, and the deaths are entirely different. Like it's the same person who died, but you know, it's the body's found in a completely different area. It's a different method of death, which means it's got a different murderer involved. But one of the things, like, it comes with like set suspects, and so my plan is that like to make something like that is like, well, maybe you're reviewing a corrupt cop's, like, you know, recent cases, and like the idea of like, you know, not just having like, because like sometimes we would like speak to the witnesses and then be like, some of these witnesses are pretty sus. I think they would actually be pretty good in the suspect pool. Being able to be like, you know, like I've reviewed the case. I think these witnesses, like this witness should be a suspect because yada yada the reason. So that's what I think about a lot. Just adding weird shit like that. And then like playing with the difficulty of the game, because like the difficulty of those virtual murder games is that you have 6 hours. And I think that reviewing the suspects should be free, because it basically cuts off 20 minutes for every single thing. So you might spend half your time just doing the initial review of the suspects. So it's like, no, that's free. Whatever suspects they thought they had, those are free. Whatever the crime, you know, like the recap, free. Everything from there. And you could do some more fun things, like if you're reopening not a cold case, but, you know, reviewing a case that had been closed. Be like, well, I want to ask some questions to the witnesses, that sort of thing. Especially if you're now saying, hey, these witnesses, I want them to be suspects. But yeah, these are the things I think of. Nothing's involved with Laura Burr. Take this.
You look so hungry.
Oh.
Here, take this.
I forgot to switch it back.
Be a sandwich on rye. Bless you, lassie. Don't mind if I do.
Yes.
And it tastes fresh too.
I mean, I got it from across the road for a free coupon, sir. It was free. Okay. Now we can ask him questions, because he's eaten. I need to ask him about the speakeasy. What can you tell me about the speakeasy? Now, I don't know anything about a speakeasy, not in this town. We run a clean city here. But there are some nice places where a lady like yourself can sit and relax and enjoy a little bit of the high life, if you know what I'm saying. Of course, some of these places are arrested, don't you know? So you got to be giving them the right sign so they knows you're okay. I will arrest myself for this, Sentinel. Just mention the Charleston, you'll be in like Flint. I think so. Thank you, Sergeant. Don't mention it to anyone. No, don't mention it to anyone. Not to anyone. And the cow don't need it either, because it reminds me of Pugny from Return to Zork. Alright. Now I'm going to ask you about the detective. Speaking of bad accents. Do you know anything about Detective O'Reilly? Oh, I hope to tell, miss, what with him being a detective on duty here today. His office is right over there if you're wanting to speak with him. Myrtle. Is it a phone game? Can I play it on my holographic kitty phone? I like, what's it called? There's a game called Sleuth, which I really think's fun. I mean, what's it called? I'm doing horrible accents as well, Sentinel, so, you know. Put me in the jail. And dick me up for morning. Myrtle. Nothing's coming up except for June's Journey, and I know who worked on that. Oh, it's a website. Oh. But there's this old DOS game called Sleuth, where you put in names of people you know, or, you know, your audience. And it randomly decides one of them has murdered another, and then you have to go around speaking to them and work out who it is. It's just a, you know, basic, what's it called? ASCII game, but I love it. Laura, go speak to the detective. Let's do another accent crime. Ooh. You knock politely. You hear a muffled response. Come in! Just don't stand there in the void, you lassie. Sure and Pecora. I'm Detective O'Reilly. What you be wanting then, lass? I'm Laura Bow from the New York Daily Register News Tribune. I'm looking at the burglary at the Dagger Museum, and I understand you're handling the case. Would it be possible for me to look at your report? I ate my tea. You can't be a reporter, lass. You're a girl. The Trib only hires men. Maybe I should make him just randomly British for no reason. I am a reporter, sir, and you can check with my editor, Sam Augustini. I thought the Crod fella was doing the writing of the robbery article. Why am I now from the South? Crod fella was assigned to it, but the story's mine now. Can I see that report, please? It's very technical, lass. I don't think you'll be learning much from it. I don't know. Thank you for your concern, Detective, but I'd like to be the judge of that. You're a determined girl. I'll say that much for you. Have a look then. I'm talking from the diaphragm. The file on the Dagger Museum burglary is nothing more than a single handwritten page. It only mentions one stolen object, the Dagger of Amon Ra. We could have used a typewriter, but for some reason we couldn't be asked. The burglar or burglars left no fingerprints or other clues. Their methods of access to the museum is unknown. In summary, the police are baffled about the burglary at this point. Some of the report seems vague. The report is designed by Detective Ryan Hallahan O'Reilly. That's only one page to this report. Where's the rest of it? I shredded it. I mean, that's all of it right now. It's rather vague, isn't it? Good police work takes time, and I'm a very busy man. I haven't had time to follow up on the burglary. What if the museum loses a knife? There are people being murdered left, right, and center with the knife. Dropping like flies. Cars are being stolen. Booze is being smuggled into speakeasies. Pedestrians are doing something. And you know who gets to report all these crimes in this district? Me! So, I don't need any nosy reporters hanging around telling me that my reports are vague, girlie. Well, excuse me. Talk to the desk sergeant if you've got any more questions. I haven't got time for you right now. I've got my ding-dang stuck on the corner of this desk. Oh, I just realized you can see his foot at the bottom. Oh my god, what is going on with that perspective? Or at least it looked like you could see his foot from the bottom. Oh! Boxy just followed you on the Twitter. Boxy used to follow me on the Twitter. I'm not sure if he still does anymore. I got a bit nuts for him one night. Baby Nigel, I think, comes to mind. Anyway. I just got very inspired after Lost Ghost Vigil. Ooh. Greetings, madame. I can motivate you to your destination if you can prove that you're a reporter, if you have American currency. Oh, you got no cash? Out of my cab, please. Here's my press pass, please. To what location would you like to be motivated, madame? Okay, so we are gonna go to the we're going to go to the laundry first, because weirdly enough, laundry knows a lot about people. And we also need to see that the dress is there, so that we know that we need the dress. Thanks for traveling with us, madame. Have a pleasant day. Oh, and I also need to get the magnifying glass from these annoying kids. What's your name, little boy? None of yours beeswax. Oh, you're quite the impertinent little boy, aren't you? Yeah, well, my folks told me not to talk to strangers. His name's Paul Meyer. Yeah, but we call him Stinky because his initials are P.U. So what's your name, little boy? Beef. My, what a nice name. What about you? Nice day, isn't it? Oh. Well, there's not a cloud in the sky, and the sun is shining. Yes, makes the ants light quicker, that's for sure. You don't have the magnifying glass yet, kid. Oh, no, you do have the magnifying glass. What I want is that sweet magnifying glass. Take this. This nifty baseball wouldn't be use to you, would it? Oh, let's see it. I'm not sure about this Bob Ruth signature, but it's not a bad imitation. Stitching integrity's about 89%. Want to trade? That's just what I was thinking. I could use a magnifying glass like you boys are using. Hey, Scram, we're using this glass. Have we got a deal? Okay, why not? Here you go. Hey, what a chip! How we gonna murderize these ants? Ease up, Stinky. We're almost ants anyway. Then we'll go off to Old Man Meadows' place and bust his windows. Yeah! Thanks, lady. Nice doing business with you. You know, I still say that. I said that today even. Thank you, young man. Pretty much any time I make a trade with someone, I just go, nice doing business with you. Or I've decided to go get lunch from downstairs and I'm passing my mother on my way out and just go, nice doing business with you. You pick it up and put it in your purse. Yeah, squash them with the ball. Roll them over. Take that thin body into that low fat. Excuse me. I'm not doing a stereotype voice for this man. Yes, please. I was wondering, do you work here? Yes, ticket please. Pardon? Ticket please. You here to pick up, yes? Oh, no, I was just looking around. I like that I'm saying I'm not doing a stereotypical voice, and then I'm doing Laura Bo Southern. Oh yeah, looking around. It's fine. Laundry's not free. Alright, I can ask him questions. I can ask him about the museum. And he'll tell me about certain people. Ever been to the Dagger Museum? Of course, low fat, big contributor museum, $2 every year. Some customers also work at museum. Wolf Heimlich, security guard, very important. Anyone else from the museum ever come here? Yes, let me think. Woman doctor, Greek name. Olympia something. McGillicuddy? No, Miklos. Yes, that's it, Olympia Miklos. My spirit animal. Not sure what she do there, but she worked there. Sometimes she and Mr. Heimlich come in together. Have you been there recently? Not there in almost... Oh, it must be almost a year. Whoa! Time to send another $2 in. Besides Mr. Heimlich and Dr. Miklos, are any other customers museum employees? Not think so. Oh, wait, how could I forget? Yvette Delacroix, very lovely lady. She work at museum, if you know what I mean. I don't know if I'd call it work. I mean, it is work, but... Ask her about Yvette. Do you know Yvette Delacroix? A small smile flickers over Low-Fat's normally inscrutable features. Why are you smiling? Low-Fat have arrangement with Yvette. Laundry for free. And what do you get in return? Once more, Low-Fat seems to smile slightly, his eyes refusing to meet yours. Is it something private? Low-Fat not one to kiss and tell. Enough said, Kay. I won't tell. I'm not sure. I'm sure whatever it is. I've heard it before. I don't know, Laura. Do you know about that sort of things? Here we go. An evening gown hangs on the rack behind Low-Fat. It's a couple of years out of date, but it appears to be in your size. Somehow you can tell that from being across the room. I could have just walked to the flower shop, but I think we'll do our talk with Steve Dorian first. Because, yeah, we'll go in, talk to Ziggy, go to the back room, come back out. Should be able to get straight in and get the dirty cab. Greetings, ma'am. Show me your press pass. I know you got one. Where would you like to be motivated, madame? I would like to go to the docks and meet a dock worker. It's a weird thing to say. Have you heard about the new Air Commerce Act that was just passed? It's one that provides federal aids for airlines and airports. I sound like I'm trying to do what's it called? A stand-up show. I find it unfair. The government doesn't subsidize hard-working taxi chauffeurs. Thanks for traveling with us, madame. Have a pleasant day. Oh. Hi. I don't know what voice I was going to go for him, but that's apparently it. Good morning, miss. I'm Steve Dorian, and I sound like a serial killer. I'm Laura Bow. Steve. Randomly, I'm just going to ask you about Dr. Pippa Carter. Boy, do I remember that guy. I don't know, I don't think I could do that voice for him the entire time. He, supervised the unloading of the, God, what is these voices I'm doing for him? Yeah? Hello. God, I'm just sound like a weird man that's trying to seduce every woman I meet with that voice. But, like, Texas edition? Oh, wait, what's Dave saying something to me? Yes, we will not be having Zadev today. Ah, there's Dave. You're quite welcome to join us in chat, but it sounds like you are stonked. Most important thing I just need to ask him about. Well, okay, miss, but I'm trying to come up with a voice with him before I ask him. Hi, Laura. God, he still sounds like a weird serial killer. That's where Mr. Carter's Egyptian crates were going. Nice place. You haven't been there. Actually, I'm attending a fundraising party there tonight. Sounds like a formal party. What will it cost to get in? I don't know. I'm covering it for the newspaper, so I get in for free. Actually, I didn't see anyone asking for money there. I thought the museum was closed today. How would you know that? It is, but the party is until 7 o'clock tonight. Oh, I gotta go. It was Steve! I probably should have just said Steve over and over again. It definitely seems to be the way to go. Yeah, I'm sorry that your trains were suckage today, my dear. Alright, so I'm trying to get through as much of this game as possible in the time that we were be playing. Because I had a feeling once you said that the trains weren't running that I was like, he ain't coming. Have you read that new book by Carl Sandburg? It's Abraham Lincoln the Prairie Years. Actually, it's the first 2 volumes of a 6-volume biography, and I find it quite stimulating reading. I'm reading it right now. Thank you for traveling with us. Have a pleasant day. Don't forget to drink your Moxie. Amoxicillin. It could be antibiotics.
We're closed. No deliveries.
Wait, I know the secret word. Secret word? Bye, Wanderer. Bye, Dave. The password is Charleston.
Well, why didn't you say so? Come on in.
Yes, no, maybe. Oh, yeah. Let's go talk to the Ziggy. Are you Ziggy? Who sent ya? Well, it's Crodfella. I decided he's going to have a fancier voice. His whole high poi polloi. Crodfella, he's an old friend of mine. What you want to know? Have you read that new novel by Ernest Hemingway? You mean The Sun Also Rises? His novel of post-war disillusion? Of course. Ernie and I go way back. He ran that book by me before it ever got published, and I told him it's a real corker. I will subject you to what Ziggy's voice sounds like. Oh, you can't save here for some reason. I guess the game said, nah.
But it's like, hey. You mean the sun also rises?
Alright, the important things. So, I mean, it's good to ask him about everyone. I'm just trying to think what would be the most expedient way through Line Decker. Because he's gonna tell me about Ramses. I heard somebody heisted that Egyptian pig sticker from the museum. Rumor on the street is that it was an inside job. Well, you know, you could have told me, you know people. Do you have anything else to say about that? Because you're the one who tells me about Ramses Nigeria. Maybe it's about Egyptology. Because he's like, Ramses into that shit.
Do you know anything about Egyptology?
The only Egyptian I know is an accountant named Ramses Niger. He bugs me sometimes about asking me riddles. I can never figure them out. It's too and wooed, mate.
What kind of riddles?
Well, today Ramses came in and asked me a 2-part riddle. He said, what's the room you leave without entering? And what's the room you enter without leaving? As usual, I told him I didn't give a hoot about his silly questions, and so he left. You know what I think's interesting about this? Because this is the password for the cult. So it's like we've got it on our mind now, so it's like, okay, it's already in our heads for when it comes up later. A gift for the sink cat. I mean, everyone loves a sink cat. But I do think it's interesting that if you think narratively that Ramses is telling him the password for their cult, is kind of like, why are you doing that, Ramses? It's kind of like also as well, like, if you listen to all the conversations, what's it called? Yvette is the one that tells Ramses where there's a space underneath the museum that the cult can, you know, go there. So, and the only way that she probably would have heard about it, well, she might have heard about it from Ernie, but I think more likely she would have possibly heard it about it from Olympia. And I think Olympia did it because she set up the dinosaur. Because the dinosaur and that underground area are linked to each other. That's all headcanon. Oh, that's a cute pussy. Yeah. Oh no, that's a wet pussy. It was a cat. So we asked him about that. Trying to think if there's anything that we need to know before. I need to come in here to find that there's a place to change. Hiya, dollface. Looking for a good time? You must be referring to someone else. My name is Laura, not Dollface. It's your lost toots. I'll be right here if you're changing your mind. I have a cramp in my leg, honey. Could you massage it for me? Alright. Oh no, I need to ask her about the Countess. Wait, do I know about the Countess yet? No, I don't. I need to go in there for her to tell me about the Countess. Actually, I'm just trying to think if you can get into the museum. Va-va-voom. Ah! Have you seen the Countess come into the speakeasy yet, have you? I've been waiting here for hours. The Countess? Yeah, the Count... Excuse me, ma'am. I'm trying to sing.
I travel with you through jungle and desert, weather of every sort.
Thanks, Toots.
If you must be to burrow and dig, a burial small and castles big. Oh, I want to marry an archaeologist. Won't a marvel it be?
Ah, I came out here for the rest of the song and it closed. Anyway, what was I saying? What I think's interesting about that, because again, you know, I'm talking about this from someone who has, I mean, I haven't said who the killer is, but you know, someone who's got more of a broad strokes idea of what's going on here. The fact that the Countess, you know, apparently comes into this speakeasy makes a lot of sense because her accomplice is Ziggy. I mean, she's got another accomplice as well. But interesting, no one mentions him coming here. Just the Countess. Although, that lady in the back's like, the Countess can't get enough of it, if you know what I mean. As in, she's expecting... I don't know if it's drugs. Or if it's va-va-voom. Okay, so, if we've done everything, which we should have, this taxi should be a pigsty. Yes. My goodness, has this taxi ever been cleaned? I cleaned it out 2 years ago. You got a problem with that? No, sir. I love sitting in filth. Will you take me for a ride? Yeah, well, if you can prove you got the dough, you can prove you're a reporter. I mean, I'm a reporter. Okay, Toots, where I take you? Can you take me to low fats? But take some time, because I need to uncover this. I need time to... there it is. No! I didn't get it! I didn't get it! It went too fast. He's just pulled around the corner and went, for fuck's sakes. Hopefully I don't have to drive anywhere. Imagine if this game was like Leisure Suit Larry and you had money and currency. Just a moment. Just... You pick it up and put it in your purse. Bye! This claim ticket 2 years old today. You're very lucky, woman. Almost give this clothes away. It'll be ready Tuesday. Just kidding, ancient Chinese joke. Actually, this isn't mine at all. I just found this claim ticket just a little while ago. I'd feel badly if someone came back for this. You worry for nothing. Nobody come in for 2-year-old laundry. Get this dress out of my place. Lady who owned this dress probably dead by now. You're a strange man, Mr. Fat, but I kind of like you. And we're not going to be taking the taxi this time. We're going to do the same trick that we did at between the police station and the newspaper. The speakeasy's across the road. Flowers. We're closed. Hey, come on. I'm not going to say it again. We've already done it. Just let me in. Don't you know me by my bright as F red hair? I mean, not my hair, but you know. The password's Charleston. Excuse me while I go change in front of a woman I don't know. Who may or may not be a homosexual. I mean, so technically I should be asking people more questions just to kind of thread up? Fill in my knowledge of what's going on. But I find often when I stream this game, I spend so much time in this beginning section that, you know, that it just kind of makes me go, I just want to get to the party. Got to get to the party. Get me to the party. Nice clothes, but where'd you get them clothes? Salvation Army? How about a free back rub or a neck rub, or if you like, I could do your whole body. No, thank you. And apparently, I don't care about my clothes anymore. The petition is bolted to the floor, so you can't move it. You've also decided to leave your old clothes here, just in case some poor unfortunate soul should come along who needs them a lot more than you do. Laura, you have no money. You have no house. Is your plan to live in this dress? That's 2 years out of date. Like, even so, she is very nice. So, like, what's it called? If it was me designing this game, in terms of this intro, a lot of this is fine. A couple of things I would change is I wouldn't steal all of Laura's things in the sense that she's got nothing, because just in my mind, I'm just like, this woman has no home base. I know that they've done this in a way so that Laura has to change at the speakeasy and they didn't have to make up like a place that she was living. But you could have easily just been like, she's out and about for the day. She's not going back to the boarding house. If she doesn't have much money, maybe she doesn't want to deal with the, you know, landlord so much until she gets a paycheck, that sort of thing. The other thing I would do is that I would probably get her to do, she's got a room in the homeless shelter. Yeah, something like that. Because you could even be like, there is a sus person at the homeless shelter that's just like, hey lady, you want me to rub your back? I'd like to rub your back. But in terms of, what's it called? Because, you know, like, Sam goes, you know, oh, we'll say that you're covering for the Society News. I would have said, yes, that's what she's doing there. She's covering the Society News. They've decided that, you know, let's say the police has decided that, you know, the Dagger robbery's not important anymore. I mean, it'd probably still be important to the newspaper, but you could even have like a fun antagonist thing of Crodfella being there as well. And be like, yeah, okay, I know he's not the murderer, but he could probably be a murder victim pretty quickly. That would have been fun. And then, like, you know, Laura just being like, oh, I'm just here for the society. Oh, look, I found a dead body. That sort of thing. Or just, like, you know, trying to entrench herself in the bigger story, even though, you know, she's just got this little thing. Be like, interview the Countess. It's a very particular way that she said, oh, it's kind of like this. Very, very breast forward. And she says nothing. She's just like, Bobby, you know where. Bobby, you know where to go. Yeah, it's just a big bucket seat in the back. Sorry, it's I love the music of this. Your perky demeanor and thorough technique are making you a first-class detective, which is interesting. I'd love to see what the list that it checks for this, because, again, we did not ask everyone absolutely everything. Who was just like, you knew what to do. You knew what the flags were to get through. I mean, someone could say that my dance moves are causing them cringe pain. Oh, wolf. I'm all tizzy. Mr. Heimlich, this affair is only by invitation only, Fräulein. Your papers, please. Oh, yes, take me to papers, please. You could almost turn her body around and not notice, yes. Very pronounced shoulders. Excuse me. These are my papers. Danke, Fräulein. I shall return this pass when you are leaving. Please enjoy yourselves this evening. And here's the clock. It's almost been weird that we've been without the clock for this long, considering how much Colonel's bequest is about the clock. About the cock. So this type of music is what I listen to when I'm, working at work, where I don't, where it's kind of like, I want background music, but no lyrics. So it's a lot of Sierra music, but the one that I tend to be like, let's listen to that track again, is Laura Bow. Because it's so varied and beautiful. Although I do like to play a game where it's like, is this Leisure Suit Larry 6 or Police Quest 2? For some reason, those two soundtracks are very interchangeable. So here are all the lovely people. So we'll just have a quick chat to their fronts. We'll have a talk to everyone's front. There's actually nothing that we actually need to ask about. I'm just trying to think. We think we'll probably ask Olympia Miklos everything because I love Olympia Miklos. But everyone else, we're going to try and move through the plot line pretty quickly. Heard any good rumors lately? Maybe or not. What's it worth to ya? Well, I don't have any money right now. Then I got no rumors for you, Toots. Good evening, Dr. Carrington. We haven't been introduced, but hi. Good evening, Miss Bow. Good evening. Good evening, sir. My name's Laura Bow. I'm Ramses and the Gym, Miss Bow. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Thank you, Diddy. I have so much lipstick on this side of my... This is what I used to drink from. It's technically, this beautiful pewter stein, my dad's friends bought it for him for his 40th birthday, and then he left it at the house like it was trash that he was throwing away. And I went, you've clearly never used this. I'm taking it. And then I put this beautiful ivy sticker on it. That's shimmery as well. It's so very funny that that Fu has a better drinking vessel that has his name on it. Considering, do I have anything from that here? I did, but you might notice that this is the same. What's it called? Blue that's on his, because it's the same material. I was testing it, and like, what's it called? The holographicness behind the case on this was also the same machine. So it was like, I bought it so I could do this holographic thing, and then I was like, well, Fu's birthday's coming up. I need another use for this. Oh, I could get a pretty nice, not super expensive water flask and make it look fancier. If I'd had the right black, because like in his stream background, he's got like the icky Fu at like an angled thing. I was like, I could have done that, but could not find the right black for that. Hello, Nick. Nick, I don't know if you're working today, but the Grammar Hole channel is open if you just randomly want to jump in with us. But no stress.
Bonjour, Miss Ball. Dr. Carrington told me you were covering the paper for the newspaper.
Oh, the party for the newspaper. You were covering the paper for the newspaper.
That's right, Miss Delacroix. I'm writing the social news column. Oh, the social news? I was thinking you were here about the burglary.
The burglary? Of course not. The newspaper would never assign a female cub reporter like myself to such an important story.
You're probably correct, Miss Ball. You are, as they say, the stupid.
No, that's fine, Nick. You enjoy being the chat squad.
This is quite the party.
Does the museum always have a big fundraiser when they open a new exhibit, Dr. Carter? No, but they've never had such an important exhibit opening here before, and I am an important curator with an important salary, so the museum wouldn't be able to keep me employed without financial assistance. I was about to say financial experience. Hang on, let's fuck. Young lady, fuck off.
Okay.
He was just basically patting himself on the back over and over again. Over on this side, we have Detective O'Reilly, my spirit animal, Olympia Miklos, and Dr. Patesha Tut Smith, who's the man that has National Treasure. Oh, and we get Laura standing on people.
How are you, Detective O'Reilly?
Just fine, lassie. You're looking lovely this evening. Please stop standing on my feet. Nothing else to say. Tut.
You must be Dr. Patesha Tut Smith.
Nice gold ink you're wearing.
This is quite the party, ain't it?
I find it very distasteful to celebrate thievery in the name of science. The artifacts in this museum Egyptian collection do not belong here. They belong in Egypt.
That's only your opinion.
It is the truth, and the thieves who rob Egypt of its ancient treasures will find death waiting for them. Amon Ra will have his revenge.
Well, I see. Nice weather we're having.
And then here's my spirit animal.
Good evening, Dr. Miklos. Oh, good evening, Miss Ball.
I'm gonna ask you everything. I'm sorry, but I need to hear you say everything at all times.
Mr. Augustini. I've only met him once or twice at social affairs. He seems to be very competent, that one.
You've got a lot of bats, I think, Dee Dee, is what I've got going on there. Actually, I'm not sure if that might be a... I said not a bat, but a big-titted broad from what I'm seeing from here. In this small sidebar I've got an OPS.
Dr. Carter's a strange one, if you ask me. He's so very interested in gaining personal glory. He doesn't seem to fully understand what beauty he has discovered.
Big-titted witch!
Yes, big-titted beauty. He has discovered why the Amon Ra artifacts are a symphony. A tribute to something. To death, maybe? Probably death. I quite like death. Dr. Carrington is a quiet one. I don't see him very often. I'm certain, however, he must have a poetic soul. What makes you say that, Dr. Miklos? I've seen him walking amongst the dead in the Egyptian exhibit late at night. I cannot blame him. It is better than moonlight on headstones. I
mean, we all love big-titted people. She says being a big-titted woman.
Ah, yes, Detective O'Reilly. I can't say I'm overly fond of that one. I know he's right next to me, but shut up, man. He has little respect for the wonderful things in this museum, and he has too firmly rooted in this life. I do not believe he likes the dead at all. Can you imagine?
Yes, indeed. I think I am impossible to drown unless you put something heavy on me. I naturally float. I float everywhere. Tell me about Crodfeller if you know him. I'm sorry, I don't know what a Crodfeller is. Oh, is it some kind of pastry? I love good pastry. Lofat, you go there. Oh yes, he runs the laundry down the way. He always manages to keep the pleating in my sleek shrouds just right. I mean, I find it very difficult to use my own breast as a pillow, but you know. Contortionists do exist. Oh god, that would be very painful. Well, I suppose like neck pillow sort of. No, you'd need a corset still to push yourself up. No, I'm afraid I don't know Detective John Bow. He is your father? That's nice. I admire the police. They spend so much time with the sick and the dead. And in New Orleans, yet with all those beautiful cemeteries. I think you're beginning to see why she's the person I love most in this game in terms of characters. An odd little fellow, that one. He reminds me of one of those specimens in my dried rat collections. I love my dried rats. Me? Oh, how sweet of you to ask about me, my dear. I'm a simple woman, as I consider myself, just echoing museum, a few hundred dead things in a ferret company, and I could be happy for the rest of my life. Well, with a little male companionship from time to time, that is. And that male companionship? Who be? Do tell. I find Yvette to be a charming young lady. Some people around here don't appreciate her zest for life, but I find her quite refreshing. Tell me about Wolf! Ah, Wolf. He has some lovely scars, doesn't he? Just between us girls. I think he's dreamy. You and me both, Missy. He's got the heart of a poet. Ah, the young stevedore. I don't know how I know him. Steve Dorian. He hasn't been here yet. I don't know why I know him. He's a charming young fellow. I imagine he has some wonderful scars from working on the docks. So from her question alone makes me think that he is at the party, but I don't know where. Like maybe he's the idea is that he's just always off somewhere else. She does have a type. Don't we all? Tell me about Ramses. Mr. Najir is a quiet one, isn't he? And so polite. I do wonder about him though. I see a certain light in his eyes. Like Daisy's when she's about to kill a spider. And I think I like Mr. Najir. Tell me about the Countess water closet. I know it's walled off cotton, but can't unsee it. I don't know if I trust that one. She screamed when she saw my beautiful dried rat exhibit, and then cried like a baby when my ferret Daisy bit her ankle. Foolish woman. She's got a good head on her shoulders. As I said, as I point to my brain. Do you know about the paper? The Tribune is an excellent paper. You are most fortunate to be employed there, Miss Bow. Oh, well, thank you, Dr. Miklos. Stick with the Tribune, my dear, and you'll certainly go far. Their article on dysentery in the Hernandos of Spain was simply marvelous. Oh. Yeah, okay. Do you know about the police station? Oh, I find the police fascinating. They spend all their time trying to stop murder and crime, and yet they shoot people themselves. Interesting, isn't it? More about the laundry? Oh, I'm sure I don't have an answer for that, miss, but you've been there, you know that, but I think that's just... I got nothing to say about the laundry. What do you want from me? But do you like the docks?
I love to walk along the docks on a moonlit night and feed carrion to the rats. Such friendly little fellows.
When was this written? This was written in, this game came out in 1992 from memory. Or it might be 1991, the floppy version, with the CD version coming out in 92.
Let me confirm.
Dagger, Defer of Amon-Ra. 1992. I still think that possibly the floppy version might have just sneaked over the line for no, hang on, I was wrong. Floppy version 92, CD version 93. That does line up very well with when I got it, because I got this, this obviously isn't my copy, the copy I bought. The green screen effects makes my head, yeah, because it's a green cord. So, oh, you can, yeah, it's like a light green. You can see if it's in the shadow of my, but if it's over here, then I just have a hole in me. My hair's faded enough that my hair actually is seeable, but it does kind of, where the light shines on it, it's still got a bit of a see-through effect. Anyway, what's it called? Yeah, I got this in, I think, like, when I got it was in 1993, but it was in the bargain bin. It was the floppy version, and I spent a whole $15 buying it. My own money. I was 8, so my hair is trying to make me a VTuber. Maybe, possibly. I suppose that technically, because I put myself up here because I had the hard line. Not the hard line. I was wearing the green jumper, but maybe I should be down here, even though my hands don't quite reach up here. I don't know, where should I go? I technically probably should have a frame around me, but I kind of like being in this space that's, you know, just here. Tell me about the museum. Solid gold frame. I do quite like silver though. It goes well with the blue.
The Lion Dagger is my home now. I never want to leave it. Its musty hallways and creeping shadows are in my very blood. Can you imagine spending your entire lifetime drifting through the land of the dead? That opportunity is mine and I treasure it. Yeah, you treasure it all right, baby.
Tell me about New York. New York. Someone introduced this lady to Gothware.
How do you like living in New York City, Dr. Miklos? Oh, fuck, I missed it. Sorry, can you say that again?
But we've already discussed that, my dear. Shall we move on to a fresh topic then? I do like that they have that actually built in to be like, you just can't ask it over and over again. You're going to annoy the shit out of these people, and there's a lot to hear. It's just a shame that there's no way to recall what they've actually said. Tell me about the speakeasy. Do you know? Do you know?
Yes, I'm quite aware that people enjoy going to such places. I personally do not. I find them too noisy and the people are too lively. Some like to get a good close look at some of the hedonist livers. However, that bootleg alcohol is quite strong.
Oh yeah, spirit animal for sure. What do you think of my magnifying glass?
You are quite wise to carry a magnifier, my dear. You miss so many good things if you don't look closely enough. Imagine never seeing pores or lice or fungus spores.
Oh, she's a poet. Pores and fungus spores? What do you think of my notebook?
Ah, you are wise to carry a notebook, my dear. One never knows when one might see or hear something that will change one's life forever.
Like at a party in 1926. Sorry, Doc, I'm out.
So, Dr. Miklos, has this been a good year for you? I would say yes. Very good. I came here from Greece just a small time ago, and now look at me now. A curator at the largest private museum in New York. I'm happy to hear that, Dr. Miklos. Tell me, have you noticed anything unusual at the museum lately? The whole museum is unusual, my dear. We walk around by dead things. We're surrounded by them. Just walk around for a while. Breathe in its wonderful atmosphere. Why, the whole place smells of death. I might just do that. Have you ever noticed any dead things that, well, don't belong? My dear, every dead thing belongs. Dead things are our friends. Yeah. Dr. Miklos, do you have any idea who would want to steal the Dagger of Amon Ra? Very funny. Everybody, silly girl. It's a priceless artifact. Not only that, it's said that the blade is an unknown alloy that can slice through bone like butter. I suppose it was a silly question after all. Let me rephrase that. Do you know of anyone with a particular motive? Well, Todd Smith and Ramses Najir both wanted very badly to return it to their homeland, but they're both so upset it hardly seems possible that they could have done it. I mean, but then again, perhaps they're just fine actors. You know, desperate people do desperate things, Miss Bow. Oh, what do you know about Egyptology? You're an expert in Egyptology, aren't you, Dr. Miklos? Well, yes, I suppose I am. I've been fascinated with ancient Egyptians ever since I was a little girl. They loved death like you Americans love baseball. Cool. Okay. Love me a bit of baseball. We'll just have a quick hello to the Countess Lavinia Waldorf Carlton, or the Countess Water Closet, as we all should really know her as. Hi, I'm Laura Bowen. I'm covering this event for the Tribune's social news column, and I'm standing inside of you. Good evening, Miss Bow. I'm the Countess Lavinia Waldorf Carlton. Please be sure to spell my name correct in your story. Yes. We're gonna save. You are late. You will be docked. Now it's in. Everyone's gonna know. Now, before we listen to the conversations, we're gonna try and go into the shop. It should technically be locked, and I think it might be at this point. But there is a secret here, and we should find it pretty quickly. We'll get out our thing. We're gonna come over here and have a look. Huh. The dagger shows a high degree of craftsmanship. It's funny. It looks just like the Dagger of Amon Ra. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, we can't touch it because it's obviously behind glass. But time has passed. Did we miss some of the conversations because of this, or is this just... So basically, that was the Dagger of Amon Ra. It's here. Fräulein, the gift shop is closed. You should not be here. Oh, I'm sorry. It was unlocked. Unlocked! My assistant will be disciplined harshly for this mistake. Please rejoin the party now. I'll be forced to injure you. Oh, Wolfie. Yeah, good. Time hasn't passed. I mean, because I knew it didn't, but it was just kind of like one of those, oh, it was an odd thing for that to happen. Oh, is it going to trigger? Here we go. Here's the first conversation. I love these portraits. There I was, standing on the hillside above the excavation in the Valley of the Kings, with the faithful Mahmoud describing the dance of the seven veils to me in great detail, when a shout arose from the workers below us.
Sensing an important discovery at hand, since I have a sixth sense about these things, I scurried downhill to see that a step had been uncovered in the sand. It turned out to be the entrance to the temple of Amon Ra. Interestingly enough, these portraits actually have more motion in the files. I took a trowel from the boss grief and cleared the sand away from the rest of the stairs myself, revealing the entrance to the temple. The seal of the necropolis was intact on the door seal, indicating that the temple had not been disturbed. So I'm kind of curious that now the scripts have kind of been extracted, if one could actually put them back in again. I knew that fate had brought me to the discovery I'd been seeking for so long. Tireless after my exertions in clearing the staircase, I used a sledgehammer to break through the sealed doorway. Within lay the greatest accomplishments of my considerable career. Hidden within the temple, untouched for thousands of years, within the isolated temple, lay the magnificent Dagger of Amon Ra, the greatest discovery of modern archaeology. If I do toot my horn. Good show! Magnifique, very impressive, Dr. Carter. So that's when you hoisted it, right? No, I didn't heist it, you annoying little man. I took it out of the temple and showed it to the workers, who immediately fell upon their faces, all 350 of them, to show respect for my accomplishments. And not because they thought it was cursed dickheads. That was hard to believe, Dr. Carter. Egyptian workers have been working for the archaeological dig for many a year. I do not think they would exaggerate their respect for you for such an extent. I don't know what this voice is now. But you weren't there, were you, Mr. Niger? Well, no, that's true. Oh, thank you, Didi. And when was the last time you went to Egypt, Mr. Niger? You seem to have lost your accent, and I don't know where it sounds like you're from now. Well, it has been several years. I'm somewhere between Ramses and here. I thought as much. Your accomplishment is quite a remarkable achievement, Dr. Carter. Was remarkable, Dr. Carrington. You mean it is a remarkable achievement. There has never been anything like it before. Quite so. Correction noted, Doctor. Doctor! If you'll be excusing me. I changed accents and I see this man I went to speak to. Certainly, Mr. Delacroix. Certainly. And then she's gonna be gone. And it's gonna trigger again where they just start talking about her. Boy, that Yvette, she's some dish, ain't she? The Frenchwoman really could have something. I don't think my wife would have done it in a money cuff. In my experience of women from different lands, I tend to agree with you, Mr. Niger. I balked when a certain Frenchwoman suggested we have a deep conversation on the back of a dinosaur, but I was pleasantly surprised by the results, if you know what I mean. Yes, Miss Delacroix is quite the cat's pajamas, as the Americans would say. Yeah, yes, we do come out with some good sayings, don't we? Right. Good lord, I hadn't realized a woman was present. Excuse us, Miss Bow. Oh, I wasn't actually listening to you, gentlemen. Dr. Carrington, I just happened to be standing here, using my ear like a horn to hear the music. Yes, the music. And then these three aren't going to talk to each other as much as they... Good lord. Ziggy, that stance. I was just standing here with my hand up to my ear, trying to listen to the music, but you all kept talking. Oh, you're talking to yourself, so there's no point. Wait, what? How? What the? I'm sorry. There's so many more conversations that need to happen. Miss Bo. I still don't... I still like her. Oh, Mr. Dorian. I thought you were supposed to be the last conversation, Mr. Dorian. Yes, that's right. We met on the docks. Oh dear, your shoes aren't exactly formal. Go away. Oh, well, I can explain that, but not right now. I see. Well, what brings you here? quick glue his boots to his feet. Ew. Excuse me. Oh, me? You told me you'd be here tonight, well, and I thought I should stalk. I mean, we should talk. Oh, about what? Did I even tell you my name? Can we step outside for a minute? Moonlight's very nice tonight. Well, alright. I think I'd enjoy that. For some reason. You creep. Laura, he's gonna kill you. Laura, he's gonna kill you. Laura, he's gonna kill you. He's gonna push you into one of these cars, take you down on the docks, and sell you as a concubine. And then grow antlers out of his head. I just wanted to explain to you who I really am. You're not Steve Dorian? Yes, I am Steve Dorian, but I didn't feel like I gave you the most accurate impression of myself when I met you earlier when I said, hi. But gee Wheeler, because I'm just not used to meeting attractive young women on the docks. I mean, I wasn't down there looking for a man. I'm a professional journalist working on a story. Oh, well, yes, of course you are. I didn't mean to imply anything. In fact, I was impressed with your professionalism and your smile. I just didn't want you to think that I'm a common stevedore. Well, I admit, I was wondering what a stevedore was doing at a ritzy museum fundraiser. My stevedore job pays the bills, but I'm aiming to be an artist. However, I'm really here because I'd hate myself for the rest of my life if I didn't try and see you again. Maybe I'm a fool, maybe you think we're too different, but I had to try. The Gabriel Knight game says we get married. Well, I'm very flattered. Are you always this nervous? I'm not very good with women. I spent all my time working since I was 10 years old when my papa died. I never had a chance to date very much. Lately I spend my free time going to school, and all I see is naked women I have to paint there. I'm starting to think we're more alike than I first thought. My mama died when I was young, so I was raised by my papa. What kind of artist are you? I'm a painter, and I do a little sculpting. Can I sculpt your body? How interesting, but I think an artist would know not to wear work boots with his tuxedo at a formal party. I'll tell you about it in a minute, Sentinel. Oh, I said I'd explain that, didn't I? I was hoping no one would notice. I had to blow 2 weeks' pay to rent this tux, but I didn't have enough to rent the fancy shoes. I had to see you again. You spent all your money just to see me? My goodness, I don't know what to say. Just say yes, Laura. Say you'll have dinner with me some evening. I may be a little odd, but I promise I'm harmless. I'd be honored to spend an evening with you and paint you like one of my French girls. Like show you the sights around town. Yeah. Well, I don't usually, but you got into a lot of trouble to find me, you stalker. I think I can trust you. If not, I know the police. Really? You'll do it? Oh, thank you. You won't regret it. I'll make it a memorable evening. I'll paint you. I'll dance for you. I'll dingle my dangle for you. Anything you want. Well, there's no reason to get carried away. Let's see how dinner goes first. Of course, you're absolutely right. I don't seem too anxious, do I? Do I? Well, maybe just a little, but that's okay. I need to look confident against someone in this game. Okay, I'll take a deep breath and calm down. I'll be fine. I'll do anything you want. I think this is the beginning of something important, Steve. I like you already. And I'm gonna get you arrested somehow. Oh boy! Let's go back to the party, Steve. I got work to do. Those antlers moved when you kissed me. So they are coming out of your head. Yeah, so a stevedore is a dock worker. Someone who works on the docks. So the fact that his name is Steve Dorian and he's a stevedore is a joke. It's kind of like, what's it called? I had this idea a long time ago, originally. Oh, sweet, because usually usually when I've played... Look, he just walked straight over them because he wasn't supposed to show up yet. Yeah, this is the thing. Steve, like, you meet Steve at very brief periods. He's always getting dragged off by another woman. Nice to meet you, Steve. I'll be back in a minute. I go get a knife. And I'm going to go tell the police detective that you accosted me outside. What was I going to say? Yeah, no, because when I was still planning on making Lorna Baines, I was always like, it's going to have a sequel piece where Lorna moves to Chicago. But the reason why she doesn't have her stuff is because it all got sent to Delaware. Be like, what the fuck's he doing in Delaware? But she was going to meet a man called Florist, as in Florenz. But Florist, of course, was going to be a florist. It's a good thing that we've been saved from that. But that was not going to be, what's it called? I don't remember what I was saying. It was something about Lorna Baines. Here we go.
Ryan, I'm having the hardest time keeping my hands off you.
Not here, Yvette. There's too many people.
Hey, they're not important. You are the most powerful man, my Ryan.
What about that Carrington guy? He's president of the museum.
Oh, the doctor. He's old and weak. You are the young one and strong.
What will you be wanting, Miss Bow?
Oh, I thought I heard you call my name.
You must have been hearing things. I didn't even mention your name.
Yes. I gotta be going now. Excuse me.
Here we go. Next conversation. And what were you doing when the fancy dagger was being stolen then? God, I love how close Tut is to this. Let me see. I was sleeping in my hotel room. You don't sound too sure about that. Yeah, I haven't been sleeping too well since I arrived in this country. I'm tired, so I don't think so well. You're not sleeping well. Would you be having a guilty conscience then?
I do not understand your meaning, Mr. O'Reilly. Perhaps it is the English.
It is curious language, not as clear as Egyptian. You say the dagger is what brought you to this country. If I were in your position, I'd be tempted to steal it.
Steal what has already been stolen? The dagger of Amon Ra belongs to the Egyptian people, Mr. O'Reilly. Not to Dr. Carter. Not to this museum. Not to this country.
I'd be watching what you're saying, Dr. Smith. You're digging your hole deeper with every word, and it is no grammar hole. Amon Ra will seek vengeance on those who will have removed his dagger from Egypt. Amon Ra does not require my help. You were sleeping when you said you were sleeping when it was stolen. Were you alone? That, sir, is none of your business. No, I was sleeping with a woman. And that's when you're wrong, Dr. Smith. It is my business as long as you're a suspect in the burglary. A suspect? Do you Americans have no shame? I'm here to return the dagger by legal means. Ask Dr. Carrington. I have talked to Dr. Carrington, and I know he told you no dice. No matter. The matter is not settled until the last camel drinks from the waters of the oasis. That's some kind of Egyptian double talk. Excuse me, sir. I see a turkey leg on the buffet table that requires my attention. Oh, I love a turkey leg. What was I gonna say? I'm trying to say this without spoiling the plot if someone hasn't seen this before, as in knows the story. But it's just interesting because Detective O'Reilly knows who stole the dagger. We'll put it that way. But it's because he knows who stole the dagger. That is 100% truth. But so then it's interesting that he keeps pushing for this. So it's either making a play for it to be like, well, I'm investigating, but his particular targets kind of come off like, like profiling. Be like, this is the easy target, or racially charged profiling. Oh no, he also kind of goes for Ziggy, so class and racial profiling. These guys got nothing else to say. I don't think these two have anything to say, unfortunately. I would love for them to just be listening to this conversation. Oh, darling. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I thought it was you three. Yep. Okay, so it must be Countess and Ramses. There we go. It was them. Ramses looks short for some reason. If you want to know my theory about it, I think it was stolen by an Egyptian. No offense to your people, Mr. Niger, but I think there's a secret sept of Egyptian sun worshippers who have sent an envoy here to steal the dagger. I mean, that is 100% what's happening, but they didn't steal the dagger. Canthus, I hardly think that likely. The sect like you're describing hasn't existed for many years. Oh, really? What makes you such an authority on secret sects? Mr. Niger, I'm merely expressing my opinion, madame. I certainly am not an expert on the subject. Quite so. I think my theory is as good as anyone's, darling. And I've heard it from a reliable source. Oh, who was that? Never mind. Let's just say my source has never been wrong before. I think it's going to be Ziggy. They're always the first time for everything, Cantus. I find your theory suspect. Since you seem to be listening, Miss Bear, what do you think of my theory? What? Oh, I think it's definitely worth considering. Oh, there you see, Mr. Niger. The press takes me seriously. Of course, it is kind of far-fetched. Well, I never. Excuse me. Suddenly she turned into a Southern Belle. Well, I never. Oh, did I say something wrong? I'm sorry. It is ridiculously silly how quickly I can fall into the lore of Voice over everything. So that's the deal. Oh, I've gone back to what a more stereotypical voice from him. I'd rather not talk about it now. Yes, well, no kidding. Those walls got ears round here, and so does certain nosy reporters, if you know what I mean. Yes, well, if you'll excuse me, I must talk to Dr. Carrington. Sure thing, Toots. Have you met my friend from home, Biggest Dicketh? I don't think I'd love to hear what these two talking to each other, but they'd probably be talking in Egyptian. Laura would just be like, meh. Oh yeah, here we go. Well, aren't you the hoity-toity dame these days? I almost didn't recognize yous with your clothes on. Excuse-moi, am I annoying you, sir? Ziggy is my moniker. Are you going to pretend yous don't knows me? You're making the joke with me now. Perhaps you have confused me with somebody else. I ain't joking, you're Yvette Delacroix. I know that body of yours anywheres. I'm not sure I know what you mean, Mr. Ziggy. Oh, I gets it. Yous is worried one of these hi-hats is gonna hear us, right? Well, I'm clued in. We can talk a lady. We can talk a lady? But, what he's hammering out there is that the accent that Yvette is putting on is 100% put on And she was a straight walker. But the interesting thing is that her name was still Yvette Delacroix. I thought, but like, to me, it would make more sense that she might have still been called Yvette, but I don't think she would be a Delacroix unless she married a Delacroix. And then she was like, I'm just going to pull it off like it's me, and then I'm just going to sleep with everyone. And here goes Yvette again. Are you enjoying the culinary delights this evening, Miss Delacroix?
The food, it is adequate. I do not eat so much the way I maintain my figure, no?
Ah, yes, and a lovely figure it is. Miss Delacroix.
Merci, Dr. Carrington. You are so kind.
I feel like we've known each other long enough. Please call me Archibald.
As you wish, Archibald. I am yours to command, as always.
Miss Bow, is there something I can do for you?
Oh no, I was just admiring Miss Delacroix's dress. Merci, Miss Bow, and your girl, it is a bit out of date, but it's charming nonetheless. Thank you, I think.
Well, if you excuse me, I must mingle with the guests, ladies. Yeah, I think, standing... One of these days, I'm gonna get back to Adventure X in a Laura Bow-esque dress in terms of like that particular dress, and just going around and just being like, I'm overhearing conversation, and I'll just do it in like photo bombing people, so like they'll be having like their normal set, and I'll just be like, huh? Obviously not with gigantic headphones on. I'd be like, huh? Well, well, look what the leprechaun striked in. Hey, watch... Changed accents again. Hey now, watch who you calls me, O'Reilly. I don't know that leprechaun thing is, and I don't think I like it. I'm sure you've been called worse things, smart guy. Only by low-class type poisons, O'Reilly. By the way, ain't you afraid of being seen with me? Cops talk to stoolies all the time, and I was wondering what you're doing here. I'm a big patron of the arts. That's the kind of high-class guy I am. You don't even know what the word patron means. I does, too. Okay, what does patron mean? Hey, ain't that the Countess I see over... I need to talk to her. Shit, my accent's changed again. Oh boy. But technically, talking about the Countess as a patron is 100% correct. That is what a patron is. Leprechaun 28 was pretty gross, but the ball pit was phenomenal. I bet. Oh yeah, here we go.
One thing I'm admiring about the Egyptian man is the way he treats his women with the strong hands and the firm words. Well, that is the proper way, as our culture teacheth us. That is not that our culture is primitive by any means. Our civilization has evolved over thousands of years, so our methods are quite well thought out and practical. And the Egyptian man, he is very skilled in the private matters as well, no? Well, speaking for myself, I feel it in my sacred duty to be knowledgeable on all matters that concern of me and my pippy. I've certainly had no complaints about my skills, Miss Delacroix. Miss Burr, I didn't see you standing there. Another turkey leg calling my name at the buffet table, if you'll excuse me. Father! The turkey leg. It sounds good to me also. I'll accompany you, Dr. Smith.
And then the two men stand alone, just be like, oh my god, we need to hide our boners. Is it the... Yes, it's the best conversation of all. All the great accents.
Candace, they tell me you were married to the last council president, no? Yes, darling, that's correct. Sterling Waldorf Carlton.
Old Sterling Watercloset was such a charming man, and so wealthy. My heart is just an empty void without him. Yes, Sterling was such a nice man. It's too bad that he's worm food right now. Oh, I prefer to think that Starling is still with me in spirit. Oh, I'm sure his body is crawling with maggots by now, but his spirit is with you. Let me know, because I'd love to see it. It is hard to lose a loved one, though. I understand you were only married for a short time, Countess. Yes, well, I've only had 2 short but charming months of married life with Sterling before he died. And how long have you known the man before you were married? Oh, we met just 1 charming month before we decided to get married. It was love at first sight. Where did you meet him? Oh, I'd only been in the country a few weeks when I met Sterling off an offshore casino boat. It was quite legal to drink and gamble there, you know, and all the right people were there. Sterling was just so charming, and he swept me off my feet. This Sterling, he must have had the large broom. Oh, it's just a manner of speech, my dear. Sterling was a wealthy man. You must have inherited a nice fortune, Countess. The money doesn't matter, darling. Actually, there's a annoying little problem with the estate right now. It seems Sterling was changing his will when he died. To give me more money, perhaps. Anyway, I'm sure my attorney will take care of the problem. It won't be a problem for much longer, if you know what I mean, wink wink. Too bad we can't dig him up to finish his new will. Yes, quite. And that conversation, like, Laura didn't get caught there. Oh no. Yvette, you doing it again? The archaeology is such a masculine profession. Breaking into the ancient tombs with your sledgehammer, thrusting your way into the treasure chambers, touching the gold artifacts. It is also very stimulating, no? Yes, well, when you put it that way, I suppose it is rather stimulating, being the most important archaeology of all time. Archaeologist, even. Yet it is the burden to bear such greatness, no? Such pressure to perform. You must be perfect all the time. Yes, you have quite a unique understanding of my problems, Yvette. Your problems, they are obvious, no? Very kind of you to say that, but there are so many who misinterpret my actions. They don't understand the pressure of having a famous relative at the same time of work and having to compare oneself to them all the time. Ah, but the Tutankhamun find, it is nothing when compared to your discovery, no? Correct! I didn't know you knew so much about archaeology. I know many things, Dr. Carter. So I've heard. Perhaps we should discuss archaeology sometime. I'd love to hear about the work you do, Dr. Carter. Perhaps later tonight? Will you be working late tonight? Oh, yes. I think everyone will be here tonight, no? There is much to be done to prepare for the opening of your exhibit tomorrow. I was planning on taking a break for tea around 3 a.m. if you'd like to join me. It sounds wonderful. Perhaps you could come by my office then? Wink, wink. I'd be delighted. It is so gracious of you to take the time to speak with me. Nonsense. Think nothing of it. However, will I repay you for the courtesy? I know how busy you are, Dr. Carter. I'm sure we'll think of something, and call me Pippin. Pip. I enjoy a good pip. Oh no. I told you to stop bothering me, you camel driver! Dr. Carter, I will stop bothering you when the dagger is safely back in Cairo. I don't know if you've noticed, but the bloody dagger has been stolen from the bloody museum, you great twit! I see no reason to exchange epithets with you, Dr. Carter. I'm aware of the burglary. I'm also aware that there's no evidence left behind and the dagger case was not harmed. In fact, I think you removed the dagger from the exhibit. Me? And what bloody reason would I have to steal my own bloody dagger from my own bloody exhibit? The dagger is not yours, Doctor. It belongs to the Egyptian people. As to why you stole it, I do not pretend to understand your twisted American thinking. Perhaps you thought to keep the dagger for yourself in your own private collection. Perhaps we should ask why you're shifting the blame onto me, you insignificant peasant. I would think it'd be very clever of you to steal the dagger and then stay about to start rumors about someone else stealing it. Only archaeological thief would make such an accusation, Doctor. I'm sure that you stole it for yourself. I did not! Yes, you did! I did not! Did not! Did. Gentlemen, please! Who asked you? Mind your own business, you noisy reporter. I have more important things to do. Our discussion is far from over, Dr. Carter. That's what you think, you malodorous buffoon. I love malodorous. It's a great word. No conversation here? Oh, such a shame. We stole it from the Egyptian bee because we want to be like Daddy England. Hang on. Hey now, England is a motherland. Okay, so I think it is Steve and Yvette. Oh, pardon me. You are interested in the great art now? Then you should come with me this evening. I give you personal tour of the old master's gallery. Well, I will enjoy. I guarantee you will not be wasting your time. You'll enjoy it very much. You are studying at the art at the university now? Oh yes, but well, it is settled. I give you private tour in a little while. No? And when I said no, I mean yes. But there is no need to thank me. I will be enjoying it very much, just as much as you will, because I will be doing the job. And now everyone is gone. And the whole thing about everything being gone, everyone being gone, is it's time to go and investigate a murder. I would love to read. Did I get the glass? I think I got the glass. Let me just check. I do have the glass. Everything good. Art tours at 9 p.m. Bringing your own handcuffs and crop. Oh, I've gone the wrong way. Yes, sir. Sorry, I took a wrong turn. I was looking for the bathroom. Atung! Tourists are not allowed in this room at this time. You're disturbing the paintings! Roz! You leave now! March now! Sorry. My bad. I meant to go the other way. Laura, move faster. I don't want to speed you up to the speedier. We're just having a quick pop in here because I love just to look at say hello to no, the talking bear's not in here. The talking Rex is here. There's a bear. There's a bear. Who's got the talk? No, it's in what's it called? It's in Carrington's office. The talking bear. So welcome to the Egyptian exhibit. There are many fine things to look at, but of course the main thing to look at is investigating the... Although there are no scratches on the glass case, there are no signs of forced entry into the exhibit. There aren't even any fingerprints. It looks remarkably like the glass case in the shape of a pyramid. A small card informs you that this case contains the infamous, well now famous, now infamous, Dagger of Amon, which is now missing. Oops! Congratulations, you've cracked the case of the Dagger of Amon. Oh, you crazy kid. You understand the romanticism of a chaste love interest, but it really downplays the role of it on a sledge. Yeah, 100%. You're gonna go to jail, Laura. Especially after we get this. Pick it up and place it in your pocket. It is a bloody ankh. There's a narrow, red-footed footprint from a woman's high-heeled shoe on the floor. Which makes you think of Yvette. I mean, technically, it probably could be the Countess or Olympia, but I feel like Olympia wouldn't have a high-heeled shoe. I don't know. It doesn't feel right for the Countess to be all the way out here in the overall plot of things. It makes a little bit more sense for it to be Yvette. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was going to the wrong the intro music. Yeah. He doesn't look too good. Like, he's not even fully, like, resting in it. It looks like he's about to fall forward. A look at the dagger reveals the words "Made in Pittsburgh" stamped on the part of the blade that is not buried in Pippin Carter's chest. To your naked eye, the rough surface of the dagger handle doesn't appear to hold any fingerprints, but that's something for the coroner to examine in detail. The flower is fake. It has no detectable smell. A tube runs down the back of the flower, behind the lapel, down to a squeeze bulb inside the vest. You squeeze the bulb, a weak stream of water squirts you in the eye. Oh, Laura, you need a squirt blanket. I don't know if anyone else has been getting those ads on Instagram where, I mean, I don't know if they're ads people want. I just know that I've been going on and being like, oh, it's a splash blanket. And then every now and then one of those ads goes, it's a squirt blanket. And I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway. From the smell of the damp stain, it appears that Dr. Carter was quite surprised by the stabbing. He wet himself. The right eye is somewhat bloodshot, as if he's been working long hours recently in preparing the ancient Egypt exhibit for public display. The pupil's very small, which is either a reaction to the sunlight or to the sun shock of some kind. Although there's a couple of breadcrumbs caught in his mustache, they don't seem to be significant as evidence, particularly since you last saw him eating bread at the party. I never saw him eating bread! I wanted his mouth. No cavities in his teeth. The tongue is arched as if to say, ugh! You're not sure if the gaping mouth means he was trying to scream or if rigor mortis is setting in, stretching his face muscles. However, he's only been here a short time. Pippin isn't breathing, but you detect the smell of garlic on his breath, and it isn't a pleasant smell. Oh no, that was splash blanket's how it started. Squirt blanket is how it ends. You hear a disturbing gurgling noise when you poke Pippin in the chest. Why are you poking him, Laura? His mouth and tongue feels dry. Oh God, Laura, why? His mustache feels stiff. Ooh, a nice stiff mustache. His flesh feels cold and clammy. You poke Pippin's right eye. A tear trickles down his cheek. You poke him in the eye. His eyeballs feel squishy. It feels greasy to the touch. You reach inside Pippin's tuxedo and find a notepad in his inner pocket. I will take that, thank you very much. You touch the blood with your finger. It's wet, and now it's all over your fingers. It would be highly improper, Laura. There's nothing else in Pippin's tuxedo jacket except lint, which you don't need. It feels fake. A bit of water trickles out from the center of the flower. Don't touch it, you don't know where it's been. There is a wide cut in the shirt fabric where the dagger sliced through to Pippin's chest. The cut is slightly wider than the width of the blade, as if it moved to one side where it penetrated his body. I love scenes like this. Here he comes. Ding dong dong. It's 8:15, yeah. You screamed like a banshee, lass. Did you kill the man then? No, I walked in here and I found him. I suppose that would explain your screaming then. Did you see the murderer? Yes, no. Alright, I'll talk to you a little later after you've had some time to calm down. Just don't try and leave the building. Doom, 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 doom. You're doing a fine job, Laura. Having interrogating the suspects, the guests, Detective O'Reilly is now discussing the murder with staff members as they would leave the party. It would be best if you don't interfere. I like that. What's it called? Discussing the murder as the staff members leave the party, but they're not leaving the party. Well, I mean, they're staying in the building. It is just water. It's just water. I mean, it looks dark down there, but it's water. It's the cup I have on my desk at all the times to just keep putting water into it. And because it's not enclosed like a water bottle, it doesn't get festive in there. It doesn't get festive in there. I mean, it still gets cleaned out, but you know, you can let it go if you're just drinking water for a little bit longer than you'd leave a. Anyway, a day or two more. I mean, oh, time definitely has passed. We've lost 2 hours. Well, an hour and 45 minutes, but yeah. Yep. See, no one's leaving the party. They're just going back in the building. I should put something down here. It's a shame it's not one of those steins that is glass at the bottom. Oh yeah. Hi, Miss Bow. I'm Ernie Leach. Dr. Carrington told me you could stay for a while and talk to the staff. I gotta lock the doors, so just come and find me when you're ready to leave. Dr. C also has a key, but you don't want to bother him about that. Thank you, Mr. Leach. Just be careful where you go. Wolf will be upset if he finds you downstairs. See you later, alligator. Where is my folder of... I mean, I was going to say, I've got this... Did you manage to learn anything from your interviews, Dr. Detective? Here's the cricket here. It's my job, sir. It's just a tiny little thing. This is an official murder investigation, Miss Bow. Do not be interfering. Otherwise, I'll be calling you interfering. Oh, no, I don't want to interfere, except I do. All I want to know is what happened. Dr. Carrington died as a result of someone sticking a gift shop dagger in his chest. What's there more to know? Except I don't let anyone leave. Well, for one thing, who done it? I got a hot brow. Someone who didn't like him. That's my guess. Brilliant deduction. Well, if you think you can do better, I can try. Oh, wunderbar. Now we've got the amateurs involved. I may not be a detective, but I'm terribly clever. I'll solve murders before. Just try and stay out of my way, lass, and don't destroy the evidence. Certainly not. I just had a thought for the murder game. Detective, let us go free. Yeah, Thinking about other games while you're working on this game. Do not believe it. What was I going to say? Yeah, no, because one of the thoughts I had for the virtual murder type game is that, this wasn't a video game with her as the protagonist. I'll talk about my theory for Laura Bow in a second, but the virtual murder game, that one of the suspects is going to be like an armchair detective. So it's like, look, I get it. I get that you're trying to be helpful, but just calm your roll. We're looking at all the evidence. We're reviewing everything. But what about... my theory about Laura Bow is that we, the player, don't play as Laura. We play as her guardian angel that tells her what to do. Because if you listen to how she talks to people, she has no opinions of her own. Think about, if we're talking like Gabriel Knight. Gabriel at this point would have started voicing ooh, I think it'd be the voodoo cultists. But Laura doesn't have the ability to say that. And I don't just mean that because, this is not how this game's written. But I mean in the sense that Laura can't form an opinion because the whole thing about is you as the player building the case of who did it, built on observation and perception, because you have to, deduce what's going on from being told. And if Laura gives you any hints about what's going on, then it kind of invalidates your choice. It's a lot of murder games. We'll use Gabriel Knight 3 as an example. Not that that's... there is murder in that game. But, the main whodunit in that is that who stole the baby? And then it's how do we get the baby back? But who took the baby? Pretty early on, I'd say it's about day 2. Yeah, day 2 or 3. That Gabriel goes, there's this Montreux guy. I think he might have done it. You go into Montreux's house as Gabriel. He finds evidence that, yeah, they're the ones that have taken the baby. And he goes, oh my God. They took the baby. And it's like, well, yeah, that was your own theory. Makes it hard to do that for Laura, doesn't it? Because if Laura tells you who she thinks the murderer is at any point, then when later at the end of the game, when you've got the quiz of who did this and why did they do it, then Laura's already told you. You need to remember that Laura's told you it, but still, Laura's given you the clue. And I think some of her cut dialogue, because this game has a lot of cut dialogue, you don't actually, this entire second half of the game, you don't actually see Ramses until the final act. But there's questioning with Ramses. And, Laura's side of the conversation is very, she asks actual questions. And I'm not to say she doesn't ask questions throughout the game, but, she these are questions that are leading somewhere. Whereas, all her questions at the moment are going to be oh yeah, what did you think about this? Who do you think did this? Instead, these questions she asks Ramses is well, if this is this and that's that, then what about this? You see, she's building a case. And I think that that's kind of, one, they couldn't work out where to put Ramses in terms of walking around this building, although he really should be. And two, maybe they figured that what they had written for him between what Laura asks him and what he responds would give away too much of the cult storyline. And so he's just hidden from this entire section. It's going to be interesting to see, looking at the code, if you can actually find where Ramses was cut. Because I think that possibly he's... what tends to happen in a lot of things, they just get rid of the links to it, but they leave the sections in there. We'll find out. There's definitely the audio in here of Laura and Ramses talking to each other. These questions make us seem too smart. Doesn't sound like our idea of naive woman solving a murder. Cut them. Again, I think like it makes sense from the point of view that the point of these games is for you, the player, to tell us what's going on, rather than Laura, the game character, to tell you what she's building as the time goes on. That's why I think these games are kind of special, and I think what we'll find with Laura Bar 3, because again, Activision haven't said no, it's still, apparently it seems to be hanging on the Microsoft Activision merger, where I'm like, yeah, so she's a surrogate, she's a proxy character. Like, she is the blank slate that we get to talk through, but we don't actually even get to talk, because if we got to talk, we would be then giving, you know, proper questions. That's why I'm like, we're kind of like the guardian angel. I can talk. She's like the guardian. We're like the guardian angel, going, Laura, could you ask them about this? Like, it's really important. I can't tell you what to say, Laura, but could you ask about 1926? I'm sure someone is going to be, you know, it's going to be relevant to somebody. I guess if I got to be talking to a lot of people to fuck off, so it might be the best. Yeah. She needs more bless your hearts to show that she's aware, because that comment can be assault. You're right. But yeah, it is very much like, Laura, can we go walk in the back rooms right now? Hey, Laura, actually, can we go back to the gift room? Because we did see the dagger in there. Is the dagger still there? I'm sorry, I'm really close. The door's locked. It does reopen. It does open later. I just can't remember where it's. Oh, bless your sweet little hearts. You are a shrew with no heart. Oh, you cotton little socks. Laura, you need more speed. Let me speed you up, honey. Oh, it doesn't get much faster than that. Zoom! These museum scenes always take a long time for walking. Alright, let's head towards... I don't think we'll be playing this for much longer because I'm getting quite tired. I've been awake since early because I had to go to UV therapy. Oh, hello, Dr. Carrington. Good evening, Dr. Carrington. Good evening, Miss Bow. Good evening. Yeah, we can raid Giga. Dr. Carter's demise was truly a loss to us all, despite his pushy, overinflated, headline-grabbing ego. At least he completed his work on Ancient Egypt exhibit before he passed on. Dedicated chap, I'll say that for him. My God, sir, a man has literally just died, and you're like, yeah, he's already done the work. Thumbs up. Any ideas who might want to kill him? The man had enemies crawling throughout the blood workbook. Miss Bell, except for you. Everyone except you? Oh, well, perhaps I should say everyone except myself, because I was at the fundraising event when Dr. Carter was taken from us. Terrible thing, really. I didn't see you there. Yes. Oh, yeah, a weird question. What do you think about Steve Dorian? It's a weird thing for it to have come up. Stevedore, I don't discourse with proletarian ruffians of any stripe. Cool beans. We do have this lovely shiny thing here, and we can check it out with our magnifying glass. Like I said, it's getting quite late for me. The oil paint on the canvas is old and cracked, but you can still see characteristic brushstrokes of Anonymous Bosch, who painted the human bones with human bones instead of... he painted with human bones instead of brushes. Like, human hair, I can understand. Human bones? paint with bones. Oh, Nevik, a stevedore is a dock worker. So the joke is that he's called Stevedorian. He's a stevedore. Oh, all my boys are here. Lovely. You were watching a court case recently and the lawyer to defense was calling the counsel the applicant my learned colleague. It was a slam on how bad they were doing. Yeah, 100%. It was just me pulling my back muscles there. Nevik, you're not old. I was about to say you're not old, but I think we are all kind of now starting to be like, I'm old. Good evening, Miss Bow. I mean, like, I got backaches. I got shoulder ache. Oh, there's muffled voices in your vet's office. Although mine are all, hopefully, once I'm allowed to take this thing for my psoriasis. That, I mean, the stuff that they're giving me is holding stuff off because, I mean, you can barely see it. They've just got this tiniest patch underneath this scar. But then everything else is... It's funny how, like, the psoriasis has really just gotten worse everywhere except for this area here, which is like, thank goodness this is the area I don't mind showing. Except, like I said, I've got exactly one small dot underneath my scar, which I definitely don't want it to take over. So I'm like, every night I'm just like, yeah, with the ointments. I'll be with you in a minute, Yvette. I'm gonna ask her about the murder because, you know, it's just relevant. He was a rather good-looking fellow, don't you think? Of course, I was at the party when he died, surrounded by witnesses, and that's what I told Mr. O'Reilly all about that, Detective O'Reilly. I mean, like, what's it called? I mean, Fu is one of the people that takes offense at it, but I call everyone the kids, as in, like, everyone that's my age are the kids, because my brain still hasn't documented that I'm now the age of most parents. My brain still is like, we're young, we're 18. It's like, no, you're getting closer to 40. You're turning 38 next month. Oh, yeah. Muffled voice has got to put this glass on here. Yeah. Oh, thank you for seeing me, Olympia. This is very nice of you. Rude. But the game just went, fuck it. I will replay it back up to where we were. So we can pick up the stream next week there. I mean, that is the scene that, I don't know if anyone's seen it. There's a really old video on my YouTube channel. I think it's like from 2011, where I'm playing this with, Grundy and her crabbiness. And it's a broken MIDI version, as in, like, it's a floppy version that something's just gone wrong with it. And the audio is all wrong. Like, we still have no idea what happened to it. We've never heard anything like it, but it's a hilarious stream just because it's three Laura... Why is this having so much trouble now that the game's gone? It's just three Laura Bow fans, like, nerding out, being like, this is what's wrong with the sound. But we were doing, like, little mini ruins here and there, and that was one of the scenes, and what's that called? Because I was doing that same Yvette voice, and her crabbiness was doing her bookworm voice from... which is like, oh, yes, for Olympia. Oh, it is the chicken bone. Come closer. I have the itch. Poor Grundy sounded like he was crying. Possibly he was. But yes, we are going to raid out to Kigo. Just trying to think of the plans. The plan is, Grammar Hall, we are going to be going back to Virtual Murder. We're going to be doing case 2 and maybe 3 depending on how we go, because I had a look at them. It's very much like Brett Penance in the way that the murders are entirely different. So why is it supposed to be focused? Why is it It's like auto-focusing, and it's kind of like you crazy articulating hand gesticulating, that's the word. Yeah, but then it just kind of like the game just went nope. Anyway, I'm mumbling about nothing. I need to work out what happened with OBS, because like I didn't used to have this thing that when the game disappeared that it would then just black box. It is interesting though that having that black box there shows that my green screen isn't perfectly black in terms of what's being removed. Like a tiger. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Anyway, we're gonna go. We're gonna go. You hear me? We're gonna go. Green hair dye. There is green hair dye in here. Like if you look, you can see through my hair. See? See? That's see-through hair. I've got green on the underside of here. But this is all blue. And then there's purple up here. But yeah, this longer side has green on the inside. You like it when I do the voices. That's good, because I often feel bad about like these games that do have voice acting, that I'm just pushing my own agenda on things. But sometimes it works. Like, what's it called? I can't imagine playing a game that doesn't have voice acting in it without doing voices at this point. But yeah. Yes, I should go. I need sleep. I have work tomorrow. I need to take my makeup off. Which, yeah, it's quite nice and simple today. I finally got another one of these Medusa eye makeup colored eyeliners that are cake eyeliners. So I've got these in green, but if I wear the green screen, Tyler goes. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Just to have like your green eyeliner just shining through rainbow colors behind it. So I've got this purple and light purple, and of course I've got the blues, and then I've got a green one as well. But although weirdly enough, because like you know, how do you put on the Medusa without looking on the mirror? I mean, I'm a Rizilka. I've got powers. But I have noticed that I think I need to leave the blue one open for a bit, because it just looks very moist without being moist. So I think I just used a bit too much water at one point, and it was just like, I enjoy this. I mean, have I shown you my mirror? Oh, weird. Because, like, last time it was the part that I would consider more green was see-through. But this time it's just the flowers. Hi. Maybe it's considering these other greens too light blue. This is weird. I'm literally looking at myself in a mirror and I'm cackling to myself. Ay, ay, ay. What else have I got here that I could show? I've got this really old notebook that I covered. It's just disappearing. I covered in like slices of holographic rainbow things. I did this too. I've also got a little chest of drawers that I did the same. Like I bought the same it's the same contact on all of it. But this was actually a book that my brother had at university. For some reason he wrote Bob and Harry on the inside, but it's my brother's handwriting. But like he was like doing media studies on one side and then the other. But he has all these blank pages in it. And so I'm just like, well, no, I'm going to use this for my stupid scrapbooks. In terms of just like, these are the notes that I write down. Next carol read is most likely January, at most. At most, earliest. Have I shown you the little... I love just like the things that it randomly goes, this is green. I made this. This was, what's it called? Recycled paper that I sewed together, but I've been using it, so now it's falling apart. I also have this one that's a bit bigger and thicker and has more green on the roses, with this holographic paper. What else have I got? This is what I'm going to give Fu. My brother gave this to me because he went to Japan. Yoshi's entirely see-through. But I don't eat candy, so... And next time I visit Fu, I'm just going to be like, here you go. Peter Spears. Oh, not much green on here, Peter. Very good work. Very good work. But the big question. And then we'll rate out. You know, no one asked for this today. I'm amazed. Why no one asked? There we go, I'm thin. Now I don't need to go on a diet. I have a very big head for tiny body. It's not too... No, because we're rating out now, Totus. We're rating out. We're rating out. Next time, though. Remember it for Grammar Hole. Except not really Grammar Hole anymore. It's just Murder Hole at this point, but yes. Alright. We're going to read out. We need to get... but the thing... I think part of the problem is Mikhail... Mikhail needs to put the effort in, because otherwise we end up with weird stuff. I mean, we end up with stuff. Oh, Laura Bow was raunchy enough. Bam, chicka, bam, bam. But, yeah. Anyway. We'll see you for the whole this weekend. Virtual Murder, Who Killed Taylor French. And we'll be back probably next week. Not sure if... I'll put up the poll again, because if I've gotten far enough in my, murder club idea, might be fun for us to do a stream where we, make wacky characters to fill that world. Not necessarily, 100% and be like, this is exactly what this character is. This person's the murderer, blah, blah, blah. Just kind of like... I am thinking of a man professor. What could be a weird quirk for this man professor to do? Now let's design his head. Anyway, we're going now. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.